Hey guys, this is the XRP Cowboy. Hey, this is Billy. She sees shooting stars in comets' tails. She's got heaven in her eyes. She's everybody's satellite. I wish she were mine. So, let's talk about why the SEC is lightening up on the case. But first, let's listen to this. It all gets pulled together.
By GDP, generally more friendly to crypto regulation, with a massive money printing disease. Literally the ideal setup for Bitcoiners to be bullish Canadian Bitcoin, Canadian adoption, isn't it? People keep telling me how much money BlackRock has, but that isn't my point. I also didn't ask why Canada is smaller than the United States. I asked why the human beings in Canada, a major economy, are not demonstrating steady allocation behavior when they have multiple spot ETFs. It's just a simple question with data included, and yet many of you chose to treat this like a threat to your belief system, calling me a dumb clown. Do some self-reflection and grow. Yeah, and so I appreciate that he's asking the question. If you're not convinced of something and you want to engage in thoughtful discourse, you pose the question. And maybe you could even be persuaded, right? Because if you're not ideologically driven, if data hits you, you might be a good argument, like, oh, hey, okay, I buy that, that makes sense. And so that's where he was coming from, obviously. And with this being, the internet, you're going to have all sorts of people come out of the woodworks. And if they do feel like their belief system is challenged, as is the case with many toxic Bitcoin maximalists, yes, they're going to perceive the question as an attack. You see that stuff all the time. It's I hate this crap, but this is how some people behave. The question's perfectly reasonable. And I also think that there's a very reasonable answer. And so I certainly don't share the concern. And it can be summed up right here by analyst Will Clemente with his 691,000 followers. And he seems to be more like a Bitcoin maximalist type, but he's right. Look here's what he said. He reposted what TXMC shared, and he wrote, here's the difference. Purpose, so that would be Purpose Investments, has $14 billion in assets under management. BlackRock has $9 trillion. Reputation and resources they have to throw at pushing it are infinitely larger. Yeah, and so I'll word it a little bit different than that, but the concept is correct. So if you look at the chart that I just had full screen here, I'll make it full screen again. It's from TXMC showing Purpose Bitcoin ETF holdings and then the Bitcoin price. You look. The reason that this is going to go bonkers over a longer period of time is because you're going to have investment advisors pushing the spot Bitcoin ETF to their clients. As Anthony Scaramucci, who is the, I think it was co-founder of Skybridge Capital, major firm with however many billions in assets under management, he's publicly stated, look, on Wall Street, there's over 100,000 investment advisors that once these spot Bitcoin ETFs get approved, they're going to be pushing this to their clients. So you're talking about firms. If you talk about all the firms that are applying right now, I think the number was something like, they have something like $17 trillion in assets under management. And if they have their teams in unison pushing this product to their clients, yes, you better believe they're a good sales force. And like, I understand how sales works. Like, it's not just a product is available and then people flock to it. And so I think that's what the point that TXMC was missing. Now, I happen to have a strong background in sales. I started my career in outside sales, actually selling business-to-business products. I won't get into the specifics of it, but I was literally in my early 20s after I graduated from college, knocking on business doors, walking in, introducing myself, just striking up a conversation, and then ultimately trying to pitch a product. So the product was available whether or not I went into the individual business locations, but were they flocking to us? No. You have to go out there and sell it. So when you're talking about 100,000 investment advisors absolutely pushing this thing to their existing clients, yes, it's an upsell. And you better believe a ton of them are going to go. So then as far as what happened with this firm in Canada, Purpose Investments, well, to what degree they sufficiently push this, I can't say, and it's just one firm right there. And it is a small amount in terms of assets under management, so that wouldn't move the needle on a global scale, even if they did a good job. But when you're talking about $17 trillion in the United States, the largest economic juggernaut in the history of our species, yeah, that's going to move the needle. That's definitely going to. So it's a perfectly reasonable question that TXMC asked here, but I think the answer is actually fairly simplistic. It's that it was just a tiny amount. So even if they did a great job with their sales forces, which is to say their investment advisors, pushing this to their existing clients, even if they did, and I don't know if they did, but even if they did, that's one small firm with $9 billion in assets under management. When you compare that, and I say small, that's relative, it's comparatively it's small. When you're talking about $17 trillion in assets under management, and then my God, the attention this is getting on national television and social media as a result, it's not the same as when Canada got their spot Bitcoin ETF approved. And Larry Fink on national television saying that, crypto is a flight to safety. Was that happening a couple years ago? No, it's different. It just is different. So yes, I do firmly believe that all of these firms pushing this is the reason why. And so TXMC responded to Will Clemente and asked, so you think it's just a marketing thing? And I'll say this, I don't think it's a marketing thing. I think it's a sales thing. Marketing and sales are, although somewhat similar in some way, they're different. They're closely related, but they are different. When you're talking about sales, you're talking about individual, like, boots on the ground out there pushing this thing. And I don't literally mean they're walking door to door like I did in my early career, but, making phone calls, contacting existing clients, taking a proactive approach. Whereas just launching this thing with no fanfare, no advertising, no marketing, and no sales force pushing it, no, that's not going to result in more money flowing into it. But doing all of those things in unison, yes, absolutely. And I think that it's going to be profound over a longer period of time. The first burst, when the news breaks, I think it's going to be fun. But I think the impact over a longer period of time is what really, truly matters. And so here's what Will Clemente said in response to that, though. Because again, the question, so you think it's just a marketing thing? Will Clemente said, Larry Fink, BlackRock, and Fidelity endorsing Bitcoin does more for the career risk of promoting / allocating to Bitcoin than purpose ever could. So yeah, I think distribution trumps all, and BlackRock has the biggest of anyone.
Oh my God, I totally forgot I was recording a video, but that was Moon Lambo to the Moon Lambo. Okay, so, what it comes down to is this whole fucking case. I remember David Schwartz saying, if this stuff happened, it'd be too late, because of this lawsuit, because they had things they wanted to do early. But, I think this was all about the fucking brotherhood of corruption, wanting to delay XRP until Bitcoin had mass adoption. And what I mean by that is it was unstoppable. ETF. And because XRP had the potential to take, and it did at one time, take the number one spot with market cap. And it got fucked over. Just like this lawsuit. I think this was just a delay. I think it was by design. And I think it's a two-way door. This was to help XRP to be the first with legal clarity. We said that from the beginning of this lawsuit, and no one believed it. Now they see it. We said they'd have the only legal clarity. And, and I would argue that an ETF for Bitcoin pretty much does that either way for them. So I think that's why the SEC is lightening up, because, they delayed it as much as they could until this fucking ETF for Bitcoin. That was price protection. That's what that is. Because every motherfucker is going to be, if you listen to Moon Lambo, all that money, these money managers are salespeople. And when they get a new product, if they do their job, you know what they do? They fucking sell it. And every mom and pop and grandfather who, heard their kids talk about this shit or watch the news, CNBC, fucking Jim Cramer, they're interested. They're not going to take the time to set a wallet up. But the minute their fucking broker calls them, they're going to buy a little. And they're going to see some gains. And when those gains are their best performers, because it will be at the beginning, they're going to start putting more money into it. And they're holding it. And then, this is going to be in fucking 401ks. Everything. Long-term holders taking supply off the market. We saw what Bitcoin could do without any of that. It's going to be insane. That's what this lawsuit was about, protecting Bitcoin and giving XRP the freedom. I have a feeling this was all worked out at the beginning. And once again, hey, Brad Garlinghouse, when are you going to stop manipulating the price of XRP? Just curious. After the ETF? Hopefully it's before. But what it comes down to is it was all by design. So all these motherfuckers are going to be buying it with their extra money. And then when they run out of money, they're going to be selling fucking Apple to get more of a better performing stock. Because once there's a Bitcoin ETF, that's pretty much what it is. Okay? You know, doesn't matter whether commodity, whatever. It's an investment. That's what it comes down to. People are going to sell lower performing investments for higher performing ones. This is so clear to me. You guys, we're buying our fucking time coins. Every fucking coin we buy is a brick of fucking gold. We're not just buying our futures, we're buying our families, our kids. If we're fortunate, our kids' future. We didn't find this, it found us. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Maybe something you want the fucking cowboy to talk about. But no. I can't believe the things that happened to me. I guess that I should have singed a long, long time ago. Let it be right won't help me get through the night, and I'll just turn out the light and sleep here all alone. All the love in all the love, I'll be sending you all the love in the world. These are the words that I whisper and all last night. You guys, we're almost there. The whales that didn't want to see us swim, now they're starting to lift us to the surface by design.